So, to revive youth culture, Eros needs to be unleashed and revitalized. It's not the time to focus on increasing employment rates, promising economic growth, or guaranteeing jobs. We need to let young people live like youth, and for that, Eros is essential. Now, what is Eros? When we think of Eros, we might first think of love or sex, but it's the driving force of life. It starts from there and moves powerfully towards others. So what makes us feel tingly or restless? It's because the world is so curious to us, full of questions, and everyone we meet is so fascinating. When I was young, it was like that. There were no co-ed schools back then. In high school, we only went to boys' or girls' schools, so we couldn't see the opposite sex except for teachers. We studied for exams and then went to college. Then, finally, we would think, oh, finally boys, finally girls. It was so amazing when we met them. We didn't have time to judge their looks. We just naturally felt attracted to each other. Now, we've lost that curiosity and wonder. We need to recognize that this is a big weakness of our time. On top of that, the desire for the opposite sex has become too greedy. That's another spell cast by K-dramas. Guys have become too pretty. What should we do about this? The male leads have small faces, are tall, and are prettier than women. Women need to wake up now because you can't win against these guys. Thinking you can capture a man with your looks is just a fantasy. How can anyone have better skin than Song Joong-ki or be more handsome than Park Bo-gum? Next to them, every woman looks like a warrior. So what should we do? Women need to break free from the stress of their appearance and proudly become the active subjects of love with their physical energy. This is the path we should take. The fixed boundaries of masculinity and femininity are disappearing. But women still hold on to the premise of receiving love from men, so Eros faces severe repression. Obsessing over beautifying yourself leads to great alienation from your body. What comes from that is emptiness. No matter how pretty you become, this issue will never be resolved. It only creates a sense of lack. The same goes for guys. Once they start flaunting themselves, other men become competitors. So men are probably struggling too. They need to take care of their skin, build abs, and wear branded clothes. But for what purpose are they doing this? They need to ask themselves this question. The more they do this, the more the energy of youth gets repressed and locked up. So we need the courage to boldly reject these standards set by money and consumerism. Youth should be enough with just the energy of being young. There's no need to add anything more, really. When that happens, the older generation will finally fear the youth. When young people become too pretty and are trapped by the gaze of others, they are treated like children. It's like spring has come, but nothing new is being created. They become like flowers that need constant care. How can youth culture be created in this way? Above all, there is simply no answer in this path. Doing this won't increase jobs or grow the economy. Capitalism has already peaked and is now entering its autumn. This is what people often talk about as the energy of the universe. No one can stop the energy of the universe. So there's no economist in any country who truly believes that growth can continue. Another thing is that we've entered an age of uncertainty. In the 20th century, everything could be predicted with statistics and numbers. But now, predictions are no longer possible. So, how do we live in this age of uncertainty? We live very freely and flexibly. What's needed now is not some half-baked qualifications, but the real energy of our bodies. As long as you have this, you can navigate through this age of uncertainty very smoothly. That's why you should cherish your body more than anything. And I really want to urge young people not to suppress or lock away their erotic vitality, but to let that wildness blossom.